Paltrocast.
Fantastic. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Are you doing great, Richie?
Absolutely, yes.
Well, my first question is, does everyone call you Richie, or is there like some people it's Rich, and then some people get the next level nickname?
There's some. That's a good question. It's yes. Most people call me Richie. Some people call. I've got aunties that call me Richard. I've got the inner circle that call me Dickie, and that's about it. Dick sometimes, but Dick or Dickie. There's about 4 or 5 people that call me Dick or Dickie.
Are you like Faulkner to anybody?
Yeah, when I was in school, in school you tend to be your surname. Especially if there's a few of the same. If it was me and you, we were both called Richard or Richie or whatever. You get called your surname instead because it's easier to differentiate, obviously. So that's usually what happens.
Got it. I just need to know that formality. But with that out of the way, Elegant Weapons, is it okay that people are calling it an all-star band?
I mean, I'm fortunate in the sense that I have friends that are legends. You know what I mean? That's just the way it kind of worked out, really. As I said, I'm fortunate. I called out some friends of mine, Scott Travis, Rex Brown. Obviously, they're on the record. Ronnie Romero. They just happen to be fantastic musicians, and I'm grateful and fortunate to have them on the record. And then moving forward with Christopher Williams and Davey Rimmer, Christopher's in Accept, Davey's in Uriah Heep. They just happen to be great friends of mine and also musicians. It's just I'm very lucky to have them as friends that are great musicians. That's just the way the dice landed,
It's great to see that Priest embraces the album, because a lot of high-profile bands, say like Van Halen, they didn't quite love when their members did side projects or guest appearances.
Yeah, I mean, I think Priest, Glenn has done side projects in the past. Rob has done stuff in the past. Up until recently, he's done the Christmas albums and stuff like that. I think it just strengthens the camaraderie in the band. And I mean, to be honest, Priest is such a strong character. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. I don't think it hurts anything. It's like Maiden. I think Adrian Smith recently done a band with Richie Kotzen. Again, Maiden's such a strong thing. It's just it doesn't really matter. People can do their own thing. People have different rules and they have different thoughts about that in bands. But I think Priest have always done side stuff. Scott was in Racer X. He went back to them for a little while doing Priest. It's just one of them things.
When you say Richie Kotzen, legendary guitar player Richie Kotzen, does that mean that he becomes Kotzen and you become Faulkner because you're both Richies?
There you go. Oi, Kotzen, how you doing, son? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, this is a great thing to see that you have this band going on while Priest is still touring at a high level, and there's European dates coming up for Elegant Weapons. Is it the kind of thing where you have to wait to see what Priest's schedule is and then you can schedule this?
Well, luckily, we were off completely with Priest this year. We had the Aussie thing that was that was going to happen earlier on this year. Where are we now? We're May. Where are we now? We're May already.
2023. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't believe it's May already. So it was going to be happening around now, but obviously that didn't happen due to Aussie's, challenges. But we had that. But apart from that, we were completely free this year. So it opened up the opportunity for me to put this record out and then do some live dates with Elegant Weapons a little bit later in the year. I think we're out next month in Europe. June, July, we've got some dates in Europe. We've got some opening slots with Pantera and then some festivals around Europe. So it was just the way the dice landed. It was just perfect, really. So again, completely free with Priest this year. So it enabled me to go out and scratch the itch with this.
When you play live as Elegant Weapons, is it every song from the Horns for a Halo album, or is there a cover or two?
We don't know yet. I mean, we've got Lights Out on the record, so we might do that. It depends on the length of the set that we have, really. I mean, obviously, we've only got one record out at the moment, so we're not getting booked for 2-hour sets. It's not like we're going to have to fill up 2 hours and stuff. But you know, it might be fun to consider putting some covers in, you know, that are appropriate to where we come from, maybe as musicians. If we've got, you know, 10 or so extra minutes, why not throw maybe a Rainbow tune or an Accept tune, or, you know, something like that in. The options are open, so we'll see what we do.
Was this almost ever called Richie Faulkner rather than Elegant Weapons?
Never, no. I was never really interested in that dynamic. Obviously, I spearheaded the whole thing. I put it together and then got everyone on board. But it's a priority really for me to have everyone involved as much as they want to be, or as little as they want to be. I want it to be a band. You know what I mean? That's the thing as well. Some people don't want to be. That's just so. However they want to be involved, I'm up for it. I want it to be a band. I want people to be proud of it. However they want to be involved. So yeah, I didn't want it to be my thing as such. I want it to evolve into something that we're all part of or we all kind of have our own role in it, whatever that may be, and hopefully it evolves into that.
They call you in the press release brainchild. Are you cool with that term?
I guess so at the moment. As I said, I put it together and, you know, wrote the stuff and got everyone together, and I guess you could call it that at the moment. But as I said, hopefully it evolves into more of a group thing if it's appropriate to do that, if people want to do that. Otherwise I'll continue as it is now, if that's the way it needs to be.
Right. Well, can I give you a compliment here? Some people don't like the compliments.
Sure, man.
Okay, so in seeing you live with Priest a few times, most recently on Long Island at the Nassau Coliseum, you have this very magnetic stage presence. And when you talk to lead guitar players, usually you go, who are your influences? And it's about the guitar playing. Now, in your case, your stage presence, very animated, very energetic. And I see a lot of Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick in what you do. Who inspired you to kind of move around? Because let's face it, you could be an amazing technical player, but kind of boring to watch on stage. And that's not the case with you.
Well, I always, I was out with Lauren Harris, who's Steve Harris from Iron Maiden's daughter, and we were out with Maiden quite a bit. And I always used to watch Steve and take notice of the way Steve was always at the front, and he was always looking at the people in the face, and he was singing with them. You know, the eye contact, he was pointing at them. And I always thought, you know, you can't, in this day and age of YouTube and videos and stuff like that, you can't recreate that interaction. And I always kind of took that on board. And I think that's kind of partly, at least, where it comes from. Just that interaction that you, as a fan, you walk out of the concert hall and you can't recreate that interaction with the artist on stage, whether it's a guitar player or a singer or a drummer, whatever it may be. You can't recreate that interaction that you shared at that moment in time. I think that's a valuable thing. So I think that's partly to do with it. Steve Harris and the way that he interacted with the audience.
Steve holds a distinction of getting to wear shorts on stage. Very, very few people get to do that. And if you wore shorts in Priest, I'm sure people would be outraged. So do you have jealousy that Steve Harris can wear shorts on stage?
I do, yeah. Outrage is the word for it. I don't have the legs for it. I've got legs like a sparrow hawk. So yeah, I'm glad that I mean the world is a better place because I don't wear shorts on stage, for sure.
Well, recapping what I've learned so far, you know, Priest will come back when the time is right. Obviously, there's no slowdown because there's the 50 years box set and there was the recent touring and all that. Elegant Weapons will tour whenever there's a good offer or something along those lines. But are we going to see you pop up in any cameos? And the reason I ask that is because Alice Cooper seems to be on 2 albums a month. I don't know where he finds the time in the world, but people go, do you want to sing on this? And he goes, sure. So are there Richie Faulkner cameos in the future?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, if anyone asks me, I usually say yes. I like to play. You know, if it's appropriate and I like the stuff, I usually say yes. Just no one really asked me to play on anything. You know, wow. Maybe that says everything. But yeah, I like to play. So if anyone, I played on, it was a Demon Hunter.
Oh wow!
Track a few months ago, I know the guys, and they asked me to play on a track, so I did that. So if people ask, I usually say yes, as I said, if it's appropriate, or we don't have if we've got an album cycle coming up with Priest, it's not really appropriate to play on anything else, or take away from that album cycle. But if we're not doing anything like that, I usually say, yeah, I'm, I like doing stuff like that. So for sure.
2 quick questions, and then I'm going to let you roam free. And they're stupid questions, so feel free to tell me to shut up in response to them if you do not like these questions. First question is, when I had the pleasure of interviewing your relative, George Lynch, he showed me some photos of his mixed media art. Do you own any of that mixed media art in your home?
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. Actually, there's some stuff kicking around the house that I'm actually not sure where it came from. So maybe that's some of his stuff that he's like snuck in there. I'll have to ask my other half. Actually, I'm not sure. So yeah, the jury's out on that one. I'm not too sure.
And the last question I've got, as somebody who clearly has a sense of humor and is a man of the times, what are you watching on television these days? Got any recommendations you could pass along?
You know what? I don't. I was recently watching The Mandalorian, this season 3 of The Mandalorian, and I wasn't impressed, to be honest. So I can't even recommend that. I mean, I enjoyed the first 2 seasons, but the 3rd season of The Mandalorian, I don't really know what happened to it. It became about something else other than The Mandalorian, unless The Mandalorian is about the race, The Mandalorian. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. That's what I mean. It was about the character, the Mandalorian, right, and the Baby Yoda Grogu character. That's what it used to be about. Now I'm not too sure. So, I've got a bit lost in it, really. Maybe it's above my head. I don't know. But so no, I can't really. Apart from that, I can't really recommend anything, I'm afraid.
So I'm learning you are a big Star Wars guy, but when it's done well.
I'm a big Tridge fan. So it's 4, 5, and 6 and Rogue One. That's kind of my staple diet, really. I'm an older guy. I like what I like and hate everything else. You know how it is.
So no Jar Jar Binks for you.
No, not at all. I like Rogue One. Rogue One's up there for me, but the original Tridge is where it's at, man. Yeah, that's it. What else is there? Even Return of the Jedi gets a pass. The Ewoks get a pass. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, all the other stuff's a bit silly to me.
Wow. Well, Richie, thank you for the many years of great music. Hope we get Elegant Weapons live in New York in the near future. But till then, thanks for doing what you do. Even if you don't have a TV recommendation or 2 to pass on, we still love you.
Thanks. I appreciate it, man.
Paltrocast.
Ms. Moore, aside from having to do interviews, is your day going great so far?
Yeah. Well, if it wasn't, I wouldn't tell you because I don't want to spoil your day.
Like a true show person. And right. So many things I want to ask you, but the first thing coming up, we're going to see you on a great new Tubi series that's a Moesha spinoff. Is that being filmed this summer?
Yes. Starts filming it in June. That's if the strike doesn't postpone it.
Right. That is something that people are looking towards, but hopefully not. But over to you here. So I'm talking to a person who's a Tony winner, a multi-Grammy Award nominee. I don't know whether to call you an actress or a singer, an actress, singer, a producer. What do you like to be thought of?
Just call me. I don't want to be forgotten. I want to be remembered. And I've gotten very insensitive to categories or labels. Whatever you call me is fine with me.
Well, you started off on stage, then your recording career took off, then you kind of went back to Broadway while having pop success. So was the goal all along to be both a working actress, singer, and theater person?
No, I just wanted to I wanted to be in the music industry. I was a public school music teacher first.
I didn't know that. Wow. Did you teach in New Jersey?
I taught in Newark, yes.
So you taught in Newark before it became this place with $7 lattes.
Oh, that's how much they cost?
Well, when you go to
Newark, way before that.
When you go to Newark now, there's the Performance Arts Center Opera Hall, there's the
Ah,
Prudential Center,
yeah.
there's the Red Bulls Arena. That cannot look anything like where the
No,
Newark
very,
you grew
very,
up
very
around.
different. It's progressing. It's still progressing. Yes.
Yeah, when I go through all the places that you lived, in living in New York City when you did, and going to Montclair State University and growing up in Newark, it's kind of like if you lived there, it was going to get much better.
If I lived there, or if anybody lived there.
Either or, every place that you moved to got expensive a couple of decades later.
Well, it also got better, continued to grow. And of course, New York, I think is so fabulous because it's the mecca for people who want to come from anywhere in the world and create a dream and make it come true. So that's the substance of New York, from the Pilgrims on down to our time. And of course, New York is in New York's shadow. So we have to do the same thing.
Right. Well, the upcoming show that you're working on for Tubi, is that being filmed in Atlanta?
No, I think it's going to be filmed in LA.
Oh, wow. Well, something I'm curious about over time as an East Coaster, are you starting to see that very few things are filmed in New York these days?
No, I don't think so. I think things are so diverse and so multiple because of the internet. You just can't know all the things that are going on. I live in West New York, New Jersey, and I'm right on the Hudson River, and it's so crowded with high risers, and they're getting taller and taller and that means work and all kinds of things are still being created and being renovated. We've heard about a couple of the garages and buildings that have been collapsing because some of them are so old, they need to be torn down and rebuilt again. But I think in general, it speaks that the foundation is bedrock. It's on rivers and it goes out into the Atlantic Ocean, so that then it goes to the whole European world. And on the other side, you can go to the Asian world, the Eastern world. There's the location and the substance of what the land is actually made of makes it a mecca for dreams to come true and continue to reinventing and spread that. So I think because of cities like Chicago, New York, Atlanta, major cities, LA, America is going to continue to be the land of dreams. That's what I think.
I hope you're right. That would help a lot of people like myself if it continued to prosper.
It's just very, very difficult. It always seems like it's going to fall apart, and it does. But then somehow it gets rebuilt again. So keep hope alive.
Exactly. So what are you doing these days besides, hey, we're going to see you on a TV show here, you're going to play live? What's keeping you busy at the moment?
Well, I'm beginning to start a fresh, I guess, era of my tour because of everything was shut down because of COVID.
Right.
I have a new album project called Imagine. And you said, what should I call myself? A singer, actress, or an actress, singer? I think a singer, actress, singing, that's my anointing. That's my base. It's for Afrocentric people, African Americans. Music has always been our heart, even when we were slaves. And it was a base for everything else to come out of. So I'm going to stay really, also this new album allows me to pass the baton on to the next generation, both musically and personally, with my daughter being the head of the project. So my foundation is here. And the only reason that I can continue is because the next generation are partnering with me to help me reinvent my voice. And then out of that, have new TV projects as an actor and to continue, at least for a little while longer.
You said the magic words, continue to continue. So when I look at the longevity of your career, it's very inspiring because I would say the average person gets one TV pilot, the pilot doesn't go, and they kind of give up. In your case, you never stopped working, especially at such a high level. Was there ever a point, now knowing that you started as a music teacher, was there ever a point where you said, okay, what's the plan B?
Well, absolutely, all the time. Because I think the thing is that is inspiring for someone who's still here is for you to know in your own life, there never seems to be a plan B. You don't know what's coming next. And it's very scary. And you have to kind of, I don't know what each person has to do, but it's in a way kind of starting over. I think I had a good grounding because my parents were entertainers. And first thing they said as African Americans and as entertainers, honey, get a real job. So you keep trying to do that, but then this also has to be something that inspires you and makes you happy doing this, or else you probably you won't do it well, or you don't get out of your life what you should from
Yeah.
the work. You spend so much time at it. But if something tells you maybe I should try something else, and of course we've seen in this day and time people retire at a certain time, but then they go on to something else. And I think that's, again, we have, I don't know, we have vision, we have dreams, we have desires. And so it will occur to us to try something else. And so I think by virtue of that process, we keep continuing, all of us do.
When you say get a real job, I think it's very funny, of course, anecdotally very funny, but the average person just thinks that the job is you go on stage, you sing 3 songs, you get the check and you go away. And they don't realize things like sound check, rehearsal, travel, meet and greets, crummy hotels, in that you're actually working more hours in the day than
But the most important thing is there's nobody to provide the job. You have to do that, or you have to get good agents. If you get what my parents call a good job, you work for the government.
Right.
Now, we can't trust that.
Exactly.
If you get a good agent or somebody to provide you with the job, then you get to do all those dirty tasks that you just did. And then you decide whether you really like that job or not.
For sure. They say, hey, teach, you'll have summers off. And then you think about, well, what do you actually have to deal with? What comes with that? And it's not exactly bliss.
Well, I think one of the things that came with it is that, especially when you get into junior high, that's when kids are in puberty. They don't listen to nobody. They've had to close down certain celebrations and things that have happened because kids come at that age and they tear everything down. That's when the hormones are imagine you locked in a classroom with them.
No, thank you.
It's scary.
Well, down to 2 last questions that I have for you before I let you go. And the first thing is, speaking to all the accomplishments that we've spoken to already and consistently working, is there anything that you're still hoping to do in your career that you haven't done yet?
Well, the thing I would like to do is really consolidate a management and corporate team, because you can't do this by yourself. I think that's why I've had so much up and down, because the other half of your marriage is a business part of it. And artists trying to do that, there's a couple of things that are just not going to work for most people. You need a liaison between the person who's doing the business for you, because usually they have that side of what they view of it. And
Right.
that's important. It needs to be whole. And you can't do that. So when you don't have someone to do it, you do it. So what I'd like to do now is really get a permanent business team, so that whatever it is I do doesn't go like this anymore. And you see me consistently in music, you see me consistently in television, you see me consistently in theater, because it has, otherwise it can't accumulate into anything as much as it would if it's what's consistent. And all of those things are there, built up, be a foundation for not only you to know that it happened, but whoever's watching, you can say, oh, this is who you are, cumulatively. So that's what I like, a great business team that's going to be consistent. So everything that I do can be consistent.
Yeah, you raise a very good point there, because when you're the artist and you're also the person outward saying no, you actually offend the people. So I think what you want is to be able to be the person that goes, yes, I'd love to do it. Talk to my manager.
Yeah, I'm the good guy.
And then they talk to the manager and the manager goes, no, of course not.
Right.
But you said yes.
If that's what they do, like I sing or I'm an actor, they can probably come to, because that's what they do. They know how to do that, like I know how to be a performer. I think they're separately great talents and arts, and you need both. It's like a marriage.
Well said. Well, my last question for you is kind of a random one. And when you work in a field, obviously it's not your entertainment or your hobby anymore. But I'm curious what the last play or theatrical show that you saw for fun was.
That I saw I can't even remember that.
Okay, concert is also fine. I'm curious what a great live performer like yourself
It's not
does for enjoyment.
category. It's not that it's a play or a musical or music something. It's just that I guess I haven't really, because I've been trying to run my own career, I haven't really had time for leisure. I'm looking forward to also leisure, because I love these things and I love to be able to just sit and relax. And if I don't see something, I'm not trying to see, okay, what was the business part of it? How can I do that? How can I get somebody? I'm always still working. So I don't really have time to do that yet, but I think I will soon.
I hope you do too in the very near future. But in
I
the
need a break.
hope to see you live in New York in the near future. Thank you for the many, many years of great art, Ms. Moore.
Thank you. Thank you for this too.
Paltrocast. Yes, sir. How you doing, buddy? What's your name? Darren?
I'm Darren, yes.
Darren,
and
nice to meet you.
Dango, Dongo?
Kurt, aka Dirty Dango, aka Fandango, aka Captain Moonlight.
Captain
I
Moonlight.
just came up with that.
I like that, Captain Moonlight. Well, it's great to see you in Impact, and we saw you challenge for the Digital Media Championship. Is that the title that you still have your eyes set on?
I don't really care. If I win it, I'll probably just throw it in the trash can.
Well, does that mean that the world title is in your sights?
That is more legitimate, yes, but the Digital Media Championship, I think it's a joke. I think Joe Henry's a joke. I don't really care. As long as I get to beat him, that's all I care about.
Got it. So whatever the championship, you just look forward to having it, disrespecting it, and then moving on.
Exactly.
Okay. So word is
repeat. Then you put repeat after that.
Whenever I speak to somebody from Impact, generally they say this is the most talented locker room that I've been in, the most agreeable, the least drama, etc. That's the case for you as well?
I would have to agree. Besides me, who I consider myself the biggest stooge in the locker room because I'll sell any of the boys out at a drop of a dime to get over with management. Besides myself, I would say the rest of the kids are pretty cool.
Got it. Who's the second coolest person in the locker room? Because obviously you're a distant first.
Second coolest, probably Rhino.
Future state senator Rhino.
Yeah, I think he's running for Marina Senate. He owns an island off Lake Michigan or something like that. So,
do you have a boat in Big Daddy's boatyard?
I can't afford his boat fees. They're like $4,000 or $5,000 a month. So he's killing it. So,
well, if you can take a compliment besides the fact that you're the coolest person on the Impact roster, as we've established, and you don't need a championship to be at that top level. Aside from that, you've always intrigued me on a few levels when you listen to interviews with Dango, Captain Moonlight, whatever the name is, where we learn that you're a real estate investor.
Yes.
Now, I asked when I had the pleasure of speaking with your cohort, Heath. He said that Joe Gomez is who got him into the real estate investing. Is that you as well?
Why is Heath trading my inside traders names and stuff? I mean, it shouldn't be allowed to be public knowledge, but yes, former WCW enhancement talent Joe Gomez is one of my business partners and one of my best friends. So
that is fantastic.
Yeah,
to see that
so
WCW is still paying dividends all these years later.
Yeah, he's a lot more over in real life than he is in wrestling. So we'll just leave it there.
Paltrocast. Hey, yo, check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav, and I don't disappear fast. Because right now, you are watching the Paltrocast.
Paltrocast.